what do you think the most terrifying monster in the universe looks like? Just take a close look at this pitch-black sphere swallowing all light. Floating in the solitary void, it's not merely a celestial body. It's a cosmic bug named Ton 618. If we placed our magnificent sun next to it, guess what would happen? Yes, the sun would just be a tiny sesame seed falling into a boiling volcano. Up close, Ton 618 is a vortex of despair, distorting every law of physics you ever painstakingly crammed at school. Look at that frenzied accretion disk. Its monstrous gravitational pull is like casually tossing a grain of sand into the Pacific Ocean and hoping it won't sink. Its scale is more than enough to engulf and swallow the entire orbit of Jupiter. Our beloved blue planet, probably just an appetizer that wouldn't even get stuck in this monster's teeth. A blinding flash of light tears through the night. The ridiculous paradox lies here. The darkest, most ruthless entity is surrounded by the most brilliantly glowing core in the universe. Gazing up at the night sky through a telescope, you won't find any romance. What strikes your eyes is the remnant of a blinding explosion, where a black hole goes on a mad rampage, hoarding and tearing apart space. Matter swirls into an endless tornado. Any ill-fated star casually drifting by is mercilessly ripped apart, turning into a cosmic, bloody grand feast. The long streak of light you're seeing is actually screaming remnants being dragged away. The fiery friction temperature reaches millions of degrees. Turn back the clock billions of years. The tyrant Ton 618 once stood in eerie silence. But that was only the calm before the cosmic storm. At that time, our early Earth probably hadn't even formed. The vast universe was just a battlefield with wandering, floating cloud nebulas. That distant light, even at light speed, took over 10 billion years to reach our eyes. It's so far away, it leaves you breathless. Tiny photons strain themselves flying through the dark, carrying the dying will of a pitch-black hole. Something that, most likely, has been dead for a long time by now. Genius minds scratch their heads in front of quantum equations. Is the light piercing through those nebulas recounting a historical truth, or is it just a slow-motion illusion? Look back at our blue planet, it's strangely peaceful. Meanwhile, if you had a spaceship flying at the speed of light straight toward that beast, you would forever remain a cosmic ghost chasing an unreachable past. Their time is strangled. The cosmic clock ticks in complete meaninglessness. Comparing the orbit of our solar system to it, a pathetic display of arrogance. Rings of light bending space-time create a colossal lens. And then, very soon, the enveloping darkness will swallow every last proud gaze. It's ravenous like a giant bottomless sand funnel. Any massive tower or civilization inside it would seem like a fragile speck of dust, just casually watching crowds pass by each day, unaware that above them, a gargantuan thermal sphere is devouring an entire corner of the galaxy. The centrifugal force extrudes a glowing disk of matter. Radiation pressure should repel and throw away everything in its path. But no, the Eddington limit is powerless. From Earth, observatories watch this monster grow like a tumor-consuming reality. This is so absurd. It's like planting a tiny seedling into the ground. And overnight, it mutates into a trunk piercing the sky. Its existence forced scholars into 3 insane hypotheses. But in the end, only one terrifying conclusion remained. The laws of physics collapsed the moment humanity looked at it. Defying all common sense, gravity has conquered everything here. Matter is crushed to unimaginable density, forcing even light to surrender. It skipped the slow evolution of normal stars entirely. Born as a primordial black hole seed, bypassing every stage of a typical life cycle. Can you imagine 2 galaxies colliding? it sparks a brutal cosmic chain of devouring giant fish consuming smaller fish. With every collision, its mass swells by millions of times. Black hole cores continuously merge, spawning a looming monstrosity amidst the endless dark, and that repeats too many times. It's like a snowball rolling down a snowy peak, growing bigger and more unstoppable the farther it rolls. Somehow, Ton 618 managed to hack the laws of the universe for supercritical accretion. It's so gluttonous that leftover food regurgitates, forming a dense, thick region surrounding itself. This glutton has a very cunning tactic. It accretes matter from its flanks to dodge the colossal radiation push, trying to expel everything outwards. Shocking new astronomy discovery. This monster devours mass dozens of times faster than the laws of physics should allow. So that's it. Humanity's physics textbooks are about to be rewritten again. The once absurd bug has now been fully proven by empirical evidence. The further we step back into the past, the more we see violent chaos. The early universe was far less serene and poetic than you might think. Look at the glowing chaos swirling around Ton 618. It seems beautiful and sparkling, but don't mistake it for a passing comet. In reality, it's a colossal structure wrapped in blazing gas clouds. A cloud massive enough to contain several galaxies. Scientists call it a Lyman alpha blob. That ghostly glow comes from intense radiation, energizing everything into blinding light, like the fiery breath of a dragon. Gas erupting from this black hole reaches tens of thousands of degrees, ready to vaporize anything nearby. Indigestible matter accelerates and erupts with violent force. Two beams of light pierce the darkness, racing across tens of thousands of light years like glowing swords slashing the sky. Wherever those swords swing, a death zone follows. They heat interstellar gas enough to erase any hope of survival or new star formation. From afar, all you see is a blinding blue-white sphere of light, the terrifying beauty of absolute violence. But never look directly. Your retinas would burn black instantly as the deadly X-ray beam tears through your fragile body. A strong spaceship hull. It's nothing more than a cheap toy against billions of energy particles moving at brutal speeds. Gravity twists everything, melting outer armor and turning solid metal into floating, evaporating droplets. Light from nameless background stars also bends to form a massive, gorgeously lethal halo, deceiving all your senses. The pull grows stronger every second. Around you forms a ghostly prism, a vast gravitational lens magnifying every fear. Now you cross the event horizon. Even at light speed, your only destination is total destruction. The pitch-black void suddenly flips upside down. Once inside this monster's boundary, there's no more up or down. Your only direction now is the future. You've crossed the event horizon, the final frontier. To distant eyes, time freezes here. But for you, the countdown to death has only just begun. Your body is stretched like spaghetti. The brutal gravity gap between head and feet tears every cell apart without mercy. Then all light disappears. Metal, flesh, everything gets crushed into mashed matter by this invisible cosmic grinder. Welcome to the Singularity, where density is compressed into an infinite core. This is the ultimate system bug, shattering all the physics laws Einstein once proudly penned. The collapse of physics forces the greatest minds to form new conjectures. But what if this massive mystery isn't a guillotine, but a lock holding the truth of everything? Now, let's pull back a bit for the big picture. Compared to its authority, the entire glorious Milky Way out there is just a faint speck of dust. Close the telescope and look up at our tiny Earth. How ironic it is that humans constantly thump their chests, claiming to be the center of the universe. But wait, every tyrant must eventually fall. The black hole is slowly evaporating through a painstakingly miserable radiation leak known as Hawking radiation. However, it will consume a timeline of billions of years. Amidst temperatures so low, they freeze the void itself. Ton 618's departure is so slow, it defies the patience of time itself. That is when the universe expands so fast it tears galaxies apart. A doomsday arriving in soulless silence. Distant stars gradually drift out of each other's sight forever. Space by then is nothing but an empty, frigid expanse, a terrifying void without even a single echo. Every star slowly dies out from energy depletion. Ultimately, only pitch-black ghosts remain, wandering aimlessly. An absolute freezing darkness engulfs the graveyard of all things. No more fire, no more thermal energy, no more life. And the glutton of the past now morphs into the sole ruler in the deep tomb of a dead empire. It sinks to absolute zero, patiently waiting to evaporate the very last quantum particle to wipe out every remnant of time. That is the script of the distant future, when the freezing void terminates all. Science calls it by a beautiful name, heat death. So where is humanity in that deeply despairing end? Could our tiny minds possibly find a way out of this abyss of extinction? Or would mankind have gone extinct due to its own complacency? One thing is certain, the universe will still watch coldly without shedding a single tear. Nature does not care. To the universe, the birth of a civilization or the death of a species is nothing but a hollow physical process. The massive forces governing this cosmos are completely devoid of emotion, operating like mindless gears. Rigid laws crush all illusions. Standing before them is the meager life of humanity, truly a meaningless existence. I don't think so. Despite the unfathomable distances and overwhelming scales, life is the only thing capable of illuminating meaning into this freezing mess. Do you know the craziest part? Thanks to genius minds and mathematics, our 1.4 kilogram brain can digest a monster 66 billion times heavier than the sun. With just a telescope, that tiny brain has extended its gaze, piercing through the darkness, measuring the immeasurable. A limitless imagination housed within a finite biological body. You see, the miracle isn't the black hole, the miracle is us. The thirst for truth has driven humanity to bravely reach out and touch the very edge of physics. Back to that fateful night in 1957. When humans inadvertently made the first mark of ton 618, no one expected they had just caught the tail of the Lord of the Void, until scientists stunningly reanalyzed its true mass. Compared to the universe's 13.8 billion year lifespan, our few fleeting decades are just a blink of an eye. But within that very blink, stepping out of primordial ignorance is the true miracle. Therefore, every time you look up at the night sky, don't just see frightening darkness. Look for a tiny, twinkling point of light. That is ancient light, having traveled tens of billions of years through time. A solitary journey just to meet your eyes for a single moment. A grand cycle of nature. The death of a star becomes the birth of worlds, oceans, forests, and life itself. Every ending in the cosmos is secretly a new beginning. And you, a tiny organism drifting on a small planet, carry within you the greatest miracle ever created by the universe. Understanding the universe is a sacred mission. Remember, every atom forming your body didn't come out of nowhere. It was forged and melted inside the cores of the most lethal stars, born through cosmic fire long before Earth even existed. Then those wandering stardust clouds converged, patiently drifting for billions of years just to create you. The universe out there is grand, indeed, but it is completely void of consciousness, while you, child of the stars, possess it. With immense thought and unique awareness, you stand here admiring the very cradle that birthed you. It sounds arrogant, but truthfully, you are far stronger than ton 618. True strength lies not in the ability to devour matter, but in the capacity to comprehend truth. The existence of consciousness creates meaning, lighting the brightest lamp amidst the pitch-black night. TON 618 might be the largest object ever discovered, but you are still the most important one. A beautiful, conscious life capable of love, dreams, and meaning, bringing warmth and purpose to an otherwise vast, cold, and apathetic dimension of existence. Only civilization can bring value to history, turning the void warm. So, do not fear black holes. Bravely overcome the freezing chill of natural laws. An oath forged by intellect is the fiercest answer humanity can send out into the universe. Unyielding even before death itself, we proudly declare war against every hidden corner and silent shadow of the darkness. No matter how astronomically far the distance, with sharp reason, we will reach it. And then you will realize all the majesty of the vast universe out there. Eventually shrinks, fills up, and rests perfectly right inside your own mind.